Hi everybody, welcome to my long lost Flosstube. It has been a while, but I couldn't let Christmas come and go without having a little chat with you guys today. I have missed getting on here, but I wouldn't trade the memories that I've made this past fall for anything. It has been a very busy fall. I started out by going to Shepherd's Bush, which was lots of fun. I ran into some of you there, and I love it when I do. Then I get a chance to visit with you in person, so thank you for saying hi when I saw you there. Then I got home, was home maybe a week and a half, and left for Enfield, New Hampshire. And my mom went with me to that retreat. We had the best time. That's a long way from Arkansas to Enfield, New Hampshire. It took us, I think, 4 days of driving to get up there. And then we were up there for quite a while. And then 4 days of driving to come back. So in total, I think we were gone a little over 3 weeks, but I absolutely had a wonderful time. Lots of great memories. Mom and I had a ball. We're not like 12-hour-a-day drivers. We go 5 to 6 hours. 7 hours is a busy day for us. And then we stop so we can rest and relax and then get up and start again the next morning. That also gives us time. If we see something we want to look at, we just stop and look at it. So we had a really good time. Then once we made it to Enfield, we held a retreat with my friend Mary Susan at the Enfield Shaker Village. And it was just an amazing building, and we had so much fun with the ladies that came. We had 2 sessions, and I feel like I gained so many new friends from that experience. We learned a lot about shakers, and we had a sampler that I was able to reproduce from the Western Reserve Historical Society. And it was just a time that, in the fall in New England, you can't beat it. Just beautiful scenery and stitching. I mean, what more could we want, right? So it was a lot of fun. Came back home, was home maybe a week and a half again, and went to my oldest son and his wife's house in Charlottesville. We went out there and spent the week and enjoyed Thanksgiving with them. This was the first time that they hosted Thanksgiving, and they just did a great job. Haley and Evan both like to cook, and the food was delicious. We had fun going around and seeing the area around Charlottesville, and so lots and lots of just fun times this past fall. Then recently, of course, when I got home, it was time for Mom and I to go to Branson. We do that every year. We have to go up. My dad's been gone about 32 years, and we started this tradition the year after he died. It was like, we need something new this year, and we went to Branson. And it just kind of stuck. So we don't feel like we've had Christmas unless we've gone on our girls' trip to Branson. And so we went up, looked at all the pretty lights, got our Christmas shopping finished, and just enjoyed some time up there. When I got home, my husband's actual birthday was yesterday. He turned 60. But I wanted to surprise him because I think the 60th birthday is kind of a biggie. And I had a surprise birthday party for him last weekend with several of his friends. So I called my youngest son and I said, you have got to come pick your dad up and keep him gone all day. I don't care what excuse you have to come up with or what you have to do. You have to keep him gone out of the house all afternoon. So he did. And we actually pulled it off. He came home, a bunch of his friends had come over, and we just had a great time. So while it has been a very busy past few months, I wouldn't trade any of it. We just had lots of fun making memories that we'll cherish for a long time. But I am glad to be back and able to visit with you guys and share some things with you. So grab a cup of coffee or hot tea, comfy chair, and let's chat just a little bit today. The first thing I want to show you is some Christmas stitching. Now, all the pieces didn't get finished, but I did fully finish one, but I'm going to show you what even they look like stitched. The book is by Jeanette, and it's called Christmas Cheer. And I found this when I went to Shepherd's Bush. And it looks adorable. Just the pictures on the pattern book look cute. But they had the models. And, of course, I don't know if you're like I am, but if I see a model, it usually makes me want to buy a pattern. It's not necessarily the pattern that attracts my attention, but seeing it actually done really helps. And they were adorable, so I had to get it. Well, several of them got stitched, but I haven't fully finished all of them. This one is stitched, and it's just the Merry Christmas. It's a little bigger, excuse the wrinkles. And I really want to find a pretty vintage frame. So I've got to be on the lookout for that whenever I go antiquing. It's kind of one of those things, I think I'll know it when I see it, and I haven't seen it yet. So I'll have to just wait. This one is Joy. And I did figure out what I wanted to do with it, but I have to have my husband build a little stand inside of a box because I want to put a candle, mount this on the front of the box, and then fill the box with greenery around the candle. But it's just too deep. It needs something in it to hold the candle up, so that's going to be a honey-do job for him. Then the next one is just Peace on Earth, very simple. And I'm really not sure how I want to finish this yet, so I'm hoping I'll just see something and it will be like, oh, that's the perfect finish item. And I thought about just making a pin keep, but I think it needs something else because it's just kind of simple. But I'm not sure. I'm just going to have to see it, I guess. Then the next one that I did is actually fully finished. I bought the box at Hobby Lobby and just painted it. And I painted it this Folkart matte olive green, and I'll have that down below, so the information, so you'll know what it is. So I painted it with that, and I just kind of lightly brushed it with the paint. It's more paint in some spots than others, and I did that purposely because I really wanted it to have this old look. And then I just took a sander and kind of went over it in spots to where it would look distressed, and then put some dark wax on it to kind of seal it off. Then I mounted the stitching on a little piece of sticky board, added this little beaded kind of pom-pom around the edge to go with the beaded part on the lid. And then I had an old wreath that I just cut some of the holly off of and berries and mounted that up in the corner. And that's it. So I like the way it turned out. I wanted it to be kind of a distressed looking box, and that's what I ended up with. I just painted the inside, which you could add fabric, you could line it with paper, lots of different things that you could do to the inside. And that's my finish. I just love these little birds though, and think they're so sweet. Now the pom-pom I used was Dames of the Needle Texarka Sage. And so I had this much left over after I used it around my piece on the box. I haven't used this yet. I think I'm going to use it on the one I'm going to put the candle in. But I thought it was so cool. I'd never seen this before. This is also from Dames of the Needle. And it's called Gold Dusted Hot Santa. And if you look at it very closely, and I don't know that this video will do it justice, it has a little bit of like a gold dusting on it. You may not be able to see it, but I thought that was so cool. I'd never seen the pom-pom, it's not like big hunks of glitter. It's just a very light dusting of a gold fleck. And I really like that. That way you can still use it on something if you want it to look prim and get a little bit of shine to it. So I did pick that up as well. Then I have another piece that Mom is stitching. She's working on, this is kind of her Christmas stitch. She'll probably finish it today. It's a Little House Needleworks gingerbread cookie because our kitchen is all gingerbread. And we just thought that was the cutest little guy. He's very easy, really pretty colors. But when we went to my oldest son's house in Charlottesville to see he and his wife, we stopped at Buccees. Now, oh my goodness. My friends from Texas had told us about Buccees. And so I'd heard all these stories. We don't have a Buccees in Arkansas. But on the way to Charlottesville, we passed one in Tennessee. So it was like we were all pumped up about stopping at Buccees. And inside was kind of overwhelming. They had every kind of food and snack and drink that you could imagine. Then they have a gift section that is just to die for. I bought my oldest son a Christmas gift. I bought my youngest son a Christmas gift there. And then I found this board, and so I had to have it. It was this sweet, I don't know if I can hold him back far enough. I mean, he's a pretty good sized gingerbread man. Just a little, he was over in the kitchen section, so I know he's supposed to be like a charcuterie board or a cutting board or something. But as stitchers, we immediately see a finished piece, don't we? So I measured this little guy and he will fit perfectly right here in the middle. So that's where I'm going to put him. So just in case, I know he's not finished, but I thought after Christmas, if you have a Buccees in your area, you may want to go, and I bet these will be on sale, and you may want to get one. If not, I'll put the number that's on the back down below, and I think he was $12.98 is what the price tag says, so that's not bad at all. I'm not going to do anything to him but mount my stitching. I think the color's fine, and he'll be a cute addition next year to my kitchen. So anyway, if you have a Buccees, make a trip. While you're there, don't just get the board. Try some of the, is it beaver nuggets? It's like the popcorn with the caramel. Oh my heavens. We had that and it was delicious. All right, so that's another piece that I'm going to hopefully get finished and it'll be ready for Christmas next year. Now, I'm having to look at my little list so I don't leave off anything that I wanted to talk about. My whips. I am working on my Bristol and I'm so excited because it's coming together. I'm trying very hard to get it finished so I can take it with me to the Sampler Symposium. I would love, Jean really gave me a lot of encouragement in getting her charted and attempting to stitch on a higher count. So this is my first piece that I'm stitching on 46 count. And I was scared to death to do it. And Jean is such a sweet lady and was so encouraging. And I decided I would try it due to her encouragement. So that's what I'm stitching my Bristol on. I'm pleased with how it's coming together, but I want Jean to be the first person to see it just because of how sweet she's been and such an encourager to stitchers, and I want her to be the first person to see my model finished. So I am trying super hard to get it stitched before I go to the Sampler Symposium. If any of you are out there, I want you to be sure and say hi so I can chit-chat with you a little bit in person. I think it's going to be a great weekend. I can't wait. I've taken some extra classes on Friday and Monday before and after the symposium, and I just look forward to it. I know summer school was amazing, and I don't doubt that the Sampler Symposium will be every bit as good as it was. So I will show you guys my Bristol, but I want Jean to be the first one to see it since she was such an encourager to me. Now I will show you another sampler that I have worked on. I've kind of put it to the side because it's a time crunch. Sampler Symposium will be here and I want that Bristol done. So I will show you what I did get started. It's in my little Abraham Lincoln bag. I did get to stop and see Abraham Lincoln's birthplace on my trip to Enfield, and that was lots of fun. Those of you that know me know I love everything about Abraham Lincoln. And I got so tickled. Lisa Duffin found this bag and sent it to me in the mail, and I love it. It's a great size to carry around, and it's got Abe Lincoln on it. So this is the sampler, the original. And of course, if I'm charting, I'm going to take them out of the frame so I can look at it up closer. It's just, to me, it has a lot going on in it and beautiful, beautiful colors. So I stopped at Hobby House on my way up to Enfield. That was a first for me. They are the sweetest people. I loved getting a chance to visit and look at their shop, and I was able to get all my silks when I stopped there. So this is a little bit I've got done. But the colors I think are going to be just beautiful pinks and greens and just some pretty colors. I love pink anyway. But let me show you while I've got that. I made a purchase. This was bought at the Enfield Shaker Museum gift shop. And it's just a little shaker box. But if you open it up, it has a little piece that comes out. And that is what I use to put whatever project I'm working on, the spools, my silks in there, because the 103s I love. The only thing is, I'm a little bit of a klutz, and so I can have them all over my table, and they're going everywhere. I'm dropping them, I have to get them up off the floor, trying to figure out a good way to organize them and keep them together was kind of a challenge. And so when we went up there to the retreat, I saw this little box, and I thought, that's perfect. And they fit absolutely great in this little tray. So if you don't have one and you like to stitch with 100 threes, I highly recommend it. And I'm sure Hobby House may even carry them. I know they carry a lot of beautiful shaker boxes, so they might have it. If not, you can go online to the shaker museums and see if they have any in stock as well. But it's just a great piece. These are the colors for the rest of that sampler. So if I can kind of show you, see those beautiful pinks and a little bit of oranges, some blues, all different shades. So I'm excited to work on it. As soon as I finish my Bristol, I'm going to work on this sampler and try and get it finished as well. So that's been fun to kind of stitch on. Now, I did get, let's see here, let me show you this other one. This is my latest sample I got in the mail. It'll be a while before I get it reproduced, but I will get it reproduced. And when I saw it, it's very neat and symmetrical, which I like. But the thing that caught my attention on this sampler was the verse. So I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to turn around though so I can read it a little better. It says, "In works of labor or of skill, I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do." And when I read that, I immediately thought about my grandmother, my mother's mother. She used to always say that idle hands are the devil's work. And so if you didn't, and she'd say, if you're not busy, if you don't keep yourself busy, the devil will get a hold of you. And so this sampler made me think of my grandmother, because I can still hear her saying that. So you need to be busy to keep yourself out of trouble. And that's kind of true, I guess. So I will at some point reproduce this one, just because I may try and incorporate my grandmother's initials in there somewhere, just to make it kind of in memory or honor of her, with that quote. And you know, that's what it's like with those samplers. There's something about it that will always catch our attention, like the last sampler that I showed you. I loved pink and those beautiful shades that are in that sampler. That's really what caught my attention for that one. This latest sampler, it was the verse. I have another sampler that I'm working on, just doing the charting, and it was the border on that one that really caught my attention. So, you know, it's different for each of us. There's something about our stitching that draws us, and it's just different for each person. Now I do want to talk a little bit about some upcoming information. I had someone message me this last week and ask. We will be announcing in January. We've already booked the venue. We've got our caterer, which Kathy will still come back and be our chef. She was amazing, spoiled us with the food that she cooked. And we already have the project. And so our next Shaker Retreat will be held in Enfield again next October, November, same kind of dates that we had this year. And we'll have 2 sessions. We will advertise this in January for signups, and we'll show the project or little bits and pieces at that time. So be watching. I'll announce it on here. I'll have it on my Facebook group page, and we'd love to have some of you join us. Then Spring Retreat. I had planned to announce a Spring Retreat here in Arkansas the end of November, and it just did not happen. Mather Lodge was without like a group event organizer for a while. Then they hired one, and so I was super excited. I went up, got the information, and had planned to announce that coming up this last month. Unfortunately, they are making some changes, so they could accommodate me for part of the days, but they don't want groups in the event center on the weekend. So that kind of messes up my timelines. So I have 2 other venues that I'm going to go visit this next week after Christmas. And I'm hoping they'll still be here in Conway. And I'm still hoping to have a spring retreat. But I want it to be where I can have both sessions kind of equally coming in, and I like to have part of it on a weekend, so those people that work, you're not having to take off as many days as you would if it was in the middle of a week. So just bear with me. I do promise, I have several people wanting to come back to Arkansas, and I do promise I am going to have a retreat hopefully this spring, but I've just got to find the right venue that will work with us. So I'll let you know just as soon as I get those arrangements finalized. We have a Zoom retreat coming up in February. That's the one with the tomatoes, sowing tomatoes. And I know it is Christmas, but it really has felt like it because my little FedEx and delivery guy and Amazon guy has really been making some deliveries. I've been getting all the goodies in for that Zoom retreat, and it's so exciting. When it finally starts coming in, then I get excited. So those boxes will probably ship, I'd say mid to end of January, and then the retreat is the first part of February. It's a very easy class project, so it won't take you long to get it stitched, but I'm looking forward. We're going to have lots of fun. I think, other than showing you some giveaways, oh, I do have one more thing sitting up here. It'll take me a little while to get back in the swing of this. You guys, just bear with me. I found this at Hobby Lobby. And I had run in to pick up some last minute things for my husband's surprise birthday party. And my mom was like, I'm just going to sit in the car. You're just going to be in there really quick. So I'm not going to get out. Well, when I came back out, she's like, did you find what you needed? And I said, yes, and you won't believe what I found. Sometimes when you see something, or I do, I can see something and immediately it hits me something I need to do with it. So I'm looking for a picture frame. And as I'm going down the aisle, I come across this little... It's a little spinner, kind of like if you saw where it says opened and then closed. And an idea immediately hit me for something I wanted to design and put on it and put in my stitching room. So I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm just going to show this to you. And if you're at Hobby Lobby and you see these, you may want to pick one up. It's $7.99. Yeah. And I'll put the number and everything down below. But after Christmas, I'm going to try and finish a design and stitch it and put it on here. And then I'll show it to you as a finish. And I'll make it available as a freebie on my page. So just something fun. I can't wait to do it because I'm excited because I had the idea. And I think it'd be cute for a sewing room. So get you one of these. I'll post it as a freebie as soon as I get it done. Maybe a couple weeks, but it will be coming. Then, let me show you some freebies that I have to give away today. It's been a while, so I want to be sure and put a couple extra in there maybe. I have this little needle minder. It just says Stitch. I don't know what part of the country that you're in, but we have had, in Arkansas, a major polar vortex freezing kind of event. We had a couple pipes freeze, but my husband's got those, I think, working again. It's been so cold. We have not stepped foot out of the house the last 2 or 3 days. But we have been enjoying being inside the house, being in pajamas, stitching, having some hot cocoa, and watching Christmas movies. So it's not been bad. I'm not going to complain. But I hope you're having a chance to stitch wherever you're at. So that's one giveaway. Number 2 is just a little board if you're stitching little ornaments, or you may want to get something out for Valentine's Day. That will be coming up pretty soon. That's a giveaway. And then I have a set of 3 Christmas charts that I will bundle up and send together. So that will be number 3. Number 4, when we went to Branson, I have to go eat at Paula Dean's, and she has the cutest things in her little gift shop. So she had this little, I think it looks like a tool bag, but it says bless your heart. And then I have this little pocket set. There's 3 little pouch. I think there's, no, may just be 2 pouches from Yazzie. And so that's number 4. So once again, we have number 1 is the little needle minder. Number 2 is the little cutting board. Number 3 is the set of Christmas patterns. 4 and 5. So 5 goodies to give away. So just comment below. And if there's one in particular you'd like more than the other one, let me know that. And I'll draw for those and announce the winners the next Flosstube. And hopefully after Christmas, I think my traveling, other than Sampler Symposium, has calmed down a little bit. I'll try and get back on here a little bit more often. But I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.